I know this sounds like a very backwards sounding question, but I often ask smokers, what's the benefit of smoking? And I'm sure you would agree that their answer is likely going to be, there are no benefits. That doesn't make any sense. Here's why. Right? I mean, think about it. You don't wake up in the morning and think, oh, you know what? I want to make my finger more yellow. I'm going to have a cigarette. You don't think to yourself, oh, you know what? I want to burn some money away. Let me smoke another cigarette right now. You don't think to yourself, oh, I want to increase the risk of oral cancer, or I wonder if the association between cigarettes and lung cancer are true. Let me put it to the test. You don't think that. You don't smoke for the drawbacks, right? The main draw of cigarettes is the benefit, or the benefits, right? So basically, this is a very important question you see in a moment, because it plays such a critical role in either quitting smoking or cutting down on smoking. So what I'm going to share with you right now is a 3-step approach that you can take to, at the very least, cut down on smoking if you're not ready to quit. Because many people say, I don't think I want to quit. I'm not ready to quit. They are. They just can't imagine life without cigarettes. But if you do this right, you can actually remove cigarettes from your life and not even know that they're missing. At the very least, you're going to cut down, and at the very most, this approach is going to help you quit. 3 steps. Step 1 is you want to list the cigarettes that you smoke in a typical day. I know it may vary from weekend to weekday, but just try to get all the cigarettes that you smoke in a typical day, or even a typical week, down on paper or on your computer or something. You want to list them. Number 2, what you want to do is you want to give them positive labels, the most positive label you could think of. All right, you might think like, this is my inspire me to wake up and start my day booster cigarette. That's what you call the first one, for example. You want to think of the benefits of each one as you're labeling them. The second cigarette might be goes great with my coffee cigarette and allows me to plan and strategize and structure my day. And then you want to think of the third cigarette as, I don't know, my after breakfast cigarette that helps me not overeat, and it lets me know that, hey, that's enough eating for me and I need to stop here. Whatever they are, just list the cigarettes starting with the most positive ones. Okay? And then naturally what you're going to have are less significant cigarettes, if you want to call it that. Less value cigarettes, the cigarettes that are valueless or not as important or not as significant. So that's what you do in step 2, right? So now what you've done is you have a list of your cigarettes, you have them divided into a positive list, if you will, whereby you can see the benefits of smoking these ones. And as you go further down the list, you're getting towards the negative ones that are less meaningful. And then what you do in step 3 is, the challenge now is to let go of the least important ones. So think about it. If you're smoking 20 cigarettes a day, you're probably asking for trouble. Whether it's health trouble or financial trouble or whatever, you're asking for trouble. If you can bring this down to 1 cigarette a day, I don't know if even it could even be argued that it's now a health threat. Really. I'm not sure. A cigarette a day, is it going to kill you? I don't know. I know there's people that say, oh, my uncle smoked he was 120 and he smoked a pack a day. Yeah, these are probably some guys who got lucky, and they probably did have some issues along the way. However, if you're able to cut down to 1, not only do you minimize the damage, but you're 1 cigarette away from being cigarette free. Think about that. All right, guys, so list, label, and then let go of the unimportant ones. I'm not saying let go of the important ones, leave them there. So imagine you were able to reduce from 20 cigarettes to 12. And then if you give this a week or 2, you can then maybe try this process again, and now you go from 12 cigarettes to 10. And then you give it a week or so, and then again you make the list and you start to cut them down further and further until you get down to the magic number of 1. Right? It might be difficult to get down to 1, but the first cutting down or reduction from 20 to whatever it is should be the quickest. And then you may find it'll taper a little bit based on my experience coaching people, although it's not always the case. All right, guys, so this is pretty much the 3-step approach. Be honest with yourself, okay? Give this a fair chance and give yourself a fair shot at doing this. And if you find you're running into difficulties, you might need to go to somebody who's in the business of helping you quit. Here are some common approaches. Number one, you can resort to nicotine, right? So you're kind of weaning off the body's, I don't want to say the word addiction, but the body's affinity, if you will, or the nicotine's hold on your body, all right? So you could use a nicotine patch, you can use nicotine gum, you can use, I think there's lozenges you can use, but whatever it is, just you can apply this common approach, which is not my favorite, probably my least favorite, but it does work for some people. Number two, you can try acupuncture. I know many people who've had success with acupuncture. So see an acupuncturist. You can also work with someone who is an expert at neuro-linguistic psychology or neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, which is very, very popular approach. And you can use approach that I turn to and I use most, which is the DeMartini method. And the DeMartini method, if we were to carry on, what would basically be involved would be, number one, would be to determine what your values are, so determine what your life's about, because most people don't know what it's about. And then what you do is you find 5 alternatives for each of the benefits that you found that cigarettes bring. So you find 5 alternatives to each benefit. All right? Then what you do is you also link not smoking to your values. So in other words, how does it benefit your values in life to quit? And then what are the drawbacks to your values if you keep on and continue on smoking? Right? There's more details to it, but that's pretty much it in a nutshell. You can reach out to a DeMartini method facilitator like myself, or you can visit drdemartini.com and find someone close to home or someone who resonates with you and work with them, okay? Let me just give you 3 other things to think about. Number one is that smoking, like alcohol many times, is actually can be a byproduct of being uninspired. I always say to people, I personally wouldn't find the time to smoke because I'm not going to wake up in the morning and go buy cigarettes because I'd probably be at the gym or doing something that's related to what's most important to me. I'm not going to take a break from work and go out and buy cigarettes. I'm not going to take a break from work and go out and smoke a cigarette. In fact, many people that I work with in the corporate world, when they're not loving their job, they look for every opportunity to escape. So it's usually a sign that you're living an uninspired life. Take note of this. If you're in your element, whether it's on the weekend or whether it's during the week after work, or if you're someone who loves their job at work, you probably are not even thinking about cigarettes at these times. However, when you're doing things that are uninspiring to you, that's when you need a cigarette break. So that's number one. Number two, I want you to understand that there's something called stress coping mechanisms. Oftentimes, using cigarettes to help you overcome stress is a sign that you have not sharpened your ability to face stress head on, and therefore are using cigarettes as a stress coping mechanism. Third thing I want you to think about is habits. If you can create habits that are not compatible with smoking cigarettes, then it'll bump and squeeze cigarettes out of the picture. For example, if you started exercising in the morning, for example, you may find that it just doesn't work, because as you exercise and start to improve it with exercising, you may start coughing, and it may hinder your ability to perform during exercise. And so you might start thinking, you know what, am I going to have this cigarette? I know what it's going to feel like tomorrow, right? So it kind of squeezes the habit of smoking out by forming a habit that's non-compatible with cigarettes. You may also form some other non-compatible habits, such as making a rule that I'm not going to smoke in the house, or I'm going to go to non-smoking areas, or start hanging out with some of my friends who don't smoke, or start hanging out with my friends who are not smoking at this particular time. Like they don't smoke in the mornings, they only smoke when they're out in the evening socializing or something. So these kinds of, like I said, non-compatible habits, and you hopefully it may have stimulated a few ideas of your own there. All right? Let me just end with this final point, is that big tobacco does not care about your health and wellness. Big tobacco cares about one thing, and that's beefing up their pocketbooks, right? So you are very likely a victim of really sound, powerful marketing that probably started infiltrating your mind when you were very young. And so even though you're 30, 40, 50, 70, 80, 90 plus years old, that immature and underdeveloped mind was basically heavily marketed and pounded on. And so don't blame yourself, because it's pretty tough. Just like like the food industry, they got a strong hold on us. So don't beat yourself up. Don't hate big tobacco either, because hate gets you nowhere, I believe. Don't hate big tobacco, don't hate cigarettes, and don't hate some of the negative effects that you may have already had because you've been smoking for some time. Instead, turn your hate into appreciate by seeing the opportunity that's just sitting in front of you here with these 3 simple steps that you can apply. And maybe you're going to need some further support, but at least just see the opportunity that presents itself here, because you are literally right under your nose is an opportunity to create a magnificent story, to create a story whereby you were a smoker, or you were a heavy smoker, now you cut down, or you were someone who didn't smoke much and now has gotten it to 0. All right, and maybe that story is going to inspire someone dear to you. So the other thing I want you to understand, guys, is cigarettes are, like I said, not to be hated, because they've served you to some point, right? They may have served as a stress coping mechanism. They may have helped you relax. They may have helped you socialize. They may have helped you connect with other human beings. They may have been good icebreakers socially. They may have been fantastic breaks from work, and maybe some great ideas have come from that. So don't hate them. Just thank them for the role that they've played in your life, but move on. Be ready to walk away. And I'm sure that with what I've empowered you with today, you'll be equipped with tools to do that. And if there's anything else that's worked for you, please, I would love it if you could comment in the comment section below and start a dialogue, so maybe people can learn from you. Maybe there's been some ways that you've quit, or some ways that you've been able to cut down. I'll just tell you that many people who don't find the alternatives to these benefits. So if number 1, you don't find the benefits, and number 2, if you don't identify the benefits clearly, very clearly, and then replace the benefits with ways that are compatible with your lifestyle, what tends to happen, especially if you're somebody who uses cigarettes as a stress coping mechanism, what will happen is when stress, even if you've quit, when stress rises to a certain particular level, you may then be reaching for cigarettes again, all over again. The other thing is, if you're able to get inspired about your life, if you're able to figure out, what do I want to leave behind? What is my life really about? And every day take steps working towards that, you may naturally find that your cigarette quantity reduces. You may naturally find that you don't even reach for them or even know that they're missing anymore. So if you apply this properly, guys, I'm pretty sure that there's a chance that I'm going to get a message on YouTube, or at least you're going to be, your families and friends are going to be happy that you've been able to, walk away from the stranglehold that tobacco companies have had on you for a long, long time with some powerful marketing, and you've been able to get independently healthy. The last thing I just want you to understand is this channel is designed to get at the cause of your health concerns, because truly our cause is to get at the cause of your health concerns. Wishing you the best.